Hello and welcome. My name is Diane Newell and I'm the head women's volleyball coach at the University of Southern Maine. I want to thank you for taking the time to view our skills and drills video. Today we'll be taking you through two of the most important skills in volleyball and showing you how you can practice these skills on your own time at home. It's important to note that these skills take a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged if you do not get them figured out on the first try. You've got to keep trying and pushing yourself to be better. Helping me to demonstrate these skills today, we have Kim Grant, who's doing our on-court portion. And working from the comfort of her living room, we have Lauren Delisio. We're going to start with dynamic stretching. You're going to do about 10 of each of these reps, keeping your body moving. First, a quad stretch. You're going to use your same hand to your same foot and pull your foot up to your glute. The next thing you're going to do is a glute stretch. You're going to pull your knee up into your chest and hug it tight. Next, alternating lunges front and back, making sure your knee does not go out over your toe. Next, with your alternating lateral lunge, again, make sure your knee doesn't go out over your toe and you're sitting your butt back into your lunge. Calf stretch, you're going to press your heel into the ground and reach down and touch your toes or your calf. Hip openers, you're going to raise your knee up at a 90-degree angle and rotate it out to the side and alternate. Hip flexor stretch, you're going to go in a split stance and you're going to press your weight into your back leg, keeping your back straight. The first skill we're going to work on is forearm passing. It's one of the most important fundamental skills that you will use in volleyball. Your feet are going to be shoulder width apart. You're low and balanced with your feet facing straight ahead. Your shoulders are forward and relaxed, hips are back, and your knees are over your toes, shoulders over your knees, and your head is going to be ahead of your shoulders. Keys include your wrists and hands together early, straight and simple with your elbows straight, face the ball, angle the platform, and if you need to move, you're going to shuffle your feet.
So first we're going to talk about forearm passing and what your body should look like when you're forearm passing. So when you're getting ready to forearm pass, your feet should be about hip width apart. Your right foot should be slightly forward and your weight should be slightly onto your toes so that you're ready to move in an athletic position. You're ready to move those feet forward. You're not planted on your heels and stuck. So your feet are going to be that shoulder width apart. I'm going to have to turn this way so that you can see. Your knees are going to come out over your toes when you're leaning forward getting ready. Your shoulders are going to come out over your knees. As you can see, Kim is in a nice low ready position and her arms are going to be out in front of her. So when she gets ready to pass, she's going to keep her arms out in front and then she's just going to bring her arms together, nice and straight and simple. And you're going to use your legs to push the ball a little bit here. We're not going to swing our arms up because we don't need to give the ball too much. We're just going to work on using our legs to give the ball a little bit when it comes to it. Okay?
So I'm going to start by tossing a few balls to Kim. She's going to make sure that her feet are at least shoulder width apart. She is low and balanced moving forward. She's relaxed with her shoulders and her hips are back as she's passing that ball. As you can see, she's facing me and she's using her arms to angle the ball to where she wants it to go. And in this case, I have her aiming for that ball cart as her target. So she's nice and balanced. She's not swinging her arms too much and she's letting her body and her legs do the work. And even though Kim is alone on the court, one of the things that you'll notice is she's calling the ball every time because communication is so important. Next, we're going to talk about overhead passing. So it's what to do when the ball is up by your head and you're in your low ready position. You're going to put your hands up early in the shape of a ball. You're going to extend out like a chest pass, and you're going to face the ball, but you're going to square your body up to target. So unlike forearm passing, where you angle with your arms, here you're going to square up and face where you want the ball to go to.
The next skill we're going to talk about is what you would do if the ball comes a little bit higher and you have to take it with your hands above your head. We call this overhead passing, or passing the ball overhead. So your ready position is going to be exactly the same. You're going to be down in that low ready position with your feet shoulder width apart, your arms out in front. And then what happens is, instead of you passing the ball here, you take your hands out in front and you're going to pass up above your head. So what happens with a forearm pass versus an overhead pass is you're controlling the angle with your platform this way. With an overhead pass, you're going to be squaring up your body more to where your target's going to go, as opposed to your forearm pass where you let your angle tell you where you're going to go. With your overhead pass, you're going to use your body to square up to where you want to go. So if Kim is going to be down low in her ready position and the ball is up by her head, she's just going to shift her hands up and she's going to put her hands in the shape of a ball. So if the ball were coming to her, she would shift her hands up, put her hands in the shape of a ball, so rounded, almost like a little triangle. If I look through my hands, I can see almost like a triangle in the shape of a ball. And then you're just going to push and flatten your hands, end with flat hands, in the direction of your target.
So here Kim is demonstrating how to overhead pass. Again, it's the same ready position as your forearm passing. You're getting ready to take the ball in serve receive or in a free ball situation, but the ball is coming up closer to your head. So rather than pass it with your forearms, you're going to take your hands up early and you're going to push towards your target using those nice flat hands. Again, even though Kim is demonstrating by herself right now, she's still going to make sure she's calling that ball because communication is key in volleyball. The next thing that we wanted to do was to show you that you can do this anywhere. So we put together a few drills that you can do on your own. Kim right now is passing to herself and then she's setting to herself. And this just works on her ball control, and she can do this kind of anywhere, whether inside or outside. Next, you can see Lauren is doing the same exact drill, and she's actually doing it from her living room at home. Next, Kim is just sitting down on the ground and she's doing the same thing, working on her overhead passing, working on her ball control. She's not setting the ball too high above her head so that she loses control. And here we have Lauren working on the same thing while she's at home. Next, we have a few different options for you for a little bit of a challenge. So first is Kim. She's going to start out from a standing position. She's going to work her way to the ground, all while working on her overhead passing or her setting. She's going to sit down and then she's going to move to laying down. She could eventually move from the ground back up to standing after she's gotten a little bit more practice. Lauren's doing a different variation. She's moving from sitting to laying down, all while still working on the same skills. And the final option would be just to be laying down on the ground. You might want to start here first, where you're working on your ball control from a position here with less range of motion. An important thing to note is that you don't need a net to practice. Even though Kim originally was working with the net, you can still pass in a small area in your house as long as you stay in control. And you can also still work on your overhead passing. Again, as long as you have a partner to toss it to you, you can work on all of these skills without a net. Another option is if you have a safe wall to use, you can practice all of these skills by using a wall. Here we have Kim working on her overhead passing or setting, and she's just setting it gently into the wall. Next, she moves into her forearm passing, again working on her ball control and working on her forearm passing in a controlled environment. No net involved, just Kim and a ball and a wall. For a more advanced version or a more advanced option, Kim is hitting the ball against the wall, and then she's passing it and setting it to herself and hitting the ball again against the wall. Again, this is a little bit more challenging, and you definitely need to make sure that the wall space you have is safe. To finish up, Kim is going to take us through both of those skills one more time, starting with forearm passing and then working into her overhead passing. Again, in both cases, she's going to have the same low and ready position. Again, these are two of the most fundamental skills and the most important, and they do take a lot of practice. So don't get discouraged if you don't get it right away. I want to take this time to thank you again for joining us for this skills and drills video brought to you by USM Volleyball. I want to remind you that these skills, while they're fundamental, they are challenging. So don't give up if you don't get it right the first time. You've got to keep on trying to keep getting better.